So February 25th?
Yep.
9:47 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. Let's do this. This is the defendant lobby, all right. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? She was in jail. Where else would she be?
Yeah, where could she have gone? She couldn't have left.
Right? Where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes.
I think this might be Edgeworth.
Damn it! You wanna repeat that? Or?
Okay. Something's been happening behind the scenes.
Edgeworth!
Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is.
Well, I have a pretty strong hunch.
More like we know exactly who it was?
Exactly.
There's no hunch here.
Phoenix. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out.
You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt on this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
True. Not yet.
In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling on the defendant. 5 minutes after the trial starts, Lana will be found guilty.
But she didn't do it.
I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say.
This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her.
The truth.
Everything goes back to the SL9 incident.
Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past.
That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened.
I'll think about it. See you in court, right?
Lovers. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. YOLO! February 25th, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Of course he does. Chief Gant. Oh, he knows how to teleport. It's fine.
Yeah, he does. It's fine.
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, OG. Have you been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Really? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
This is bad. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman. In the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana!
Objection!
Oh. My Wii mouse
Objection.
spoke to me. You can't! Those objections in chat, guys. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
Rude. But Lana!
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has a right to self-representation. The request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Edgeworth, help.
Objection!
Thank you!
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut,
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What? What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be.
That's...
With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to charge its first witness. Change.
I was like, charge? What are we charging?
The prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye.
So it's in the reverse of what I thought. Well, this is
I
awkward.
request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye.
Damn! Burn! What?
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Shut down.
Fucking shut down. Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand.
Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins.
What a cowboy.
Where's Marshall when you need him?
Probably drowning his sorrows in whiskey.
Awkward.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. It is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago. Really all that relevant.
Yes, it most certainly is.
That's well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. He is the judge.
Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago.
The trip to yesterday has... The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. They're trying to make it seem so epic, but we already know. We know most of it. I'm sure there's something they're hiding, but...
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
Oh! Oh! The final blow in his back. She got him in the back. Anyway, sorry. I just made that connection. So it's not like, yeah, he stabbed Marshall. Anyway, okay, sorry. I'm emotional. I'm having a lot of
You
thoughts.
went through a lot of stages there in about 2 seconds.
That's what I'm good at. Okay. Oh,
good?
Judge. Yeah. Are we at the judge?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor.
You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. YOLO.
All right, so what do you think would be good to press?
Everything. No.
No, we don't have time for that.
No. Ain't nobody got time for that. I would say... Oh, fuck. I went all the way through. I thought she had a final thing of, I don't remember after that, but I guess she doesn't. I would probably press then the, I won't forget what I saw?
Okay, good.
Okay. Hold
Do it.
on, I gotta get there. Because I went around circle. I'll never forget what I saw that instant. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, press. Oops, not no, go back. Press. Okay. Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on dark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out. Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more?
Hear more, duh.
I don't know why we'd stop her. So you
Yeah.
spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the woods just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Ask about the picture.
Yep.
This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
You could
Or
say
is it?
everything. You could say everything went dark. Hey, Furious Bear guy. Finger guns. Hui. Oh my god. That was amazing.
Thanks.
All right.
Practicing my laugh.
But it seems to have been lost.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So press?
No.
Oh, okay.
We have it. It's just
Oh.
not apparent that we have it.
Do we present what we think we have? On that?
No, if you can check evidence and look at it more closely. So, is there anything? Is there anything you'd want to look at?
Evidence list?
Yeah,
Or-
let's look at it. Check.
Check. Ooh.
Examine.
Yep, on the back.
Yep.
Picture is drawn on the back of the evidence list in magic marker. Magic marker.
Oh,
Oh, I've got a very bad feeling about this. That looks like
Right.
the award in his left hand.
So-
Otherwise, his hand is gigantic. I mean, maybe it is.
maybe he has giant hands.
Because the guy on the ground kind of has giant hands too, right in front of him.
You know what they say about a man with big hands?
Big socks.
Big. Did you say big socks? For your hands? Did you say big
I
socks?
didn't fuck up the joke. Leave me alone.
Well, when she says she drew a picture, yeah.
So the
'Cause we have the
evidence
picture.
list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, present it. Gotta eat you. Hold on. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you still insist on denying its existence?
Huh?
Don't accuse your boyfriend.
Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture.
That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over? Turn it... Ah! What's this? So good.
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Hey! Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here. Don't assume their genders.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
Very astute, Judge.
Very astute.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago is incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks.
You become one.
You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago. Only half the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
Order, order. Who'd have thought the picture would have been drawn on the back of the list? That
was
you.
that was handed to Detective Goodman in the questioning room.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor! Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. Not quite as much as Edgeworth's do, but okay. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more to the back... Then there might be more to the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Why hasn't he ever looked?
What do you mean?
Edgeworth, why didn't he ever look at the back and be like, oh, this seems out of place? Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask?
There's an earthquake happening.
Oh no, he'd be scared.
Sorry, Your Honor. There is something drawn on the back of my list. This is that thing.
That thing. Ah! That's terrifying! That's so ominous!
You can't even hear the music.
That is not what I was expecting! Why?
I really wish you could hear this ice cream truck music that's happening right now.
That's that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room!
Apparently, the head of criminal affairs used this for his blueprint.
I guess he was out of scrap paper. The evidence list has been updated. Oh, okay. Great. That's not what I was expecting. Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she saw that picture. And she saw the terrifying picture.
She's thinking about her nightmares.
I mean, I could never escape it.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see was shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Alright. Emma's picture. Alright. After that, I must have fainted. Well, we know that's wrong. Or maybe it's not. Oh.
Okay. So, we actually need to present.
On which one?
The last statement where she says, this picture shows exactly what I saw that instant. You already pointed it out because you said that there was a difference in where the person was stabbed, remember?
Yeah, because the guy was stabbed in the back. And there's no way Neil could have stabbed him in the back.
Right. And it looks in the picture like he's going to be stabbed in the back. But if you look at the autopsy, it shows that he had a single stab wound to the heart /
Shot
lung.
through the heart. Okay.
Well, stabbed through the heart, but yes.
For
So
Neil, stabbed in the back, died from puncture heart and lung, knife tip.
Oh, so maybe he was stabbed through the back then, and it just punctured his heart and lung, and then it says a knife tip was in the wound.
Yeah.
So.
Hi, Rainbow Skin. So do we? But he couldn't have stabbed the guy in the back. Neil couldn't have stabbed him back.
Oh no.
Because that would have been impossible.
Right. No, we want to present Neil's autopsy report
On the statement.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Objection! I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction!
What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Do you, though? Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Do we point it at his chest?
No.
Or the knife?
Knife.
The knife in his
Because if he-
hand in the air?
Yeah, because if he didn't stab him yet, at least at this point, then the tip should still, like, it shouldn't be broken, right?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
So she's remembering it as broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Present.
Present it. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife in the take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see that its tip is broken. In fact, you don't even have to look closely to see that. Are you calling me blind?
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dock was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Rude.
Where could you possibly see a problem?
It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not be broken yet. Come on, guys. Ah! What is the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Another objection. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible.
Sorry, but you're wrong.
The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. Wait. That's
What?
right. Oh my god, I didn't get to read that, damn it.
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Rude. Oh. I'm behind in science. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. Annoyed? Oh, but she was sure she remembered correctly.
But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Hubby. There's another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence.
You're treading on thin ice, right?
Excuse me. All I'm saying is that this broken knife might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility.
That'd be gross. No.
Because they had to shove it in there.
Yeah.
Order, order, order! Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, no shit. Please allow me to... Sometimes I wish.
I wish that was scripted. Your Honor. No shit.
No shit. Please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. Check out this nipple. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there's a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's, really? You were so confident, but you don't even know yourself. Could there have been one? There is another one.
There is another one.
If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright,
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. Well, we don't. Do we have the broken trophy?
We don't have the trophy, but we have something that shows the trophy.
A picture of the trophy he's holding?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so check it? Or, yeah.
that.
Well, just present it.
Yeah.
Done. Take that.
Take
answer
that.
Take it so good.
So.
There.
Take on
Your response. Oh. Take on me. Take me. Anyway, I like vines. It's fine. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture.
This is a picture of the award ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon.
Notice the award, Prosecutor Marshall Notice the award. God damn it. Notice the goddamn award Prosecutor Marshall is holding.
That's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the picture was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood... The knife the witness saw was in all... It reminds me of Angry Beavers. Oh my god. The knife the witness saw was in all likelihood this award. Thank you for all the clips, guys. Oh my god. Speaking is hard. Hi, lunaticers. Oh god. Speaking is so hard, guys. I need a drink. Hold on. It's tea. Don't get any ideas. Oh my god. I love Angry Beavers. Yes. It's so good. Also, it's got Zim's voice actor, so even better. Oh my god. Order, order, order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and broken knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out his knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in a dangerous situation.
But that can't be.
Oh, why not, Mr. Edgeworth?
Because if the killing of Prosecutor's award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed.
What do you mean?
I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh. Oh! No.
I just heard this giant gasp.
No. 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 Don't know. No.
Are
That's
you
not
okay?
good. That means she stabbed me on the back. That's not good. I'm emotional. This is fine. I'm scared though, but I'm emotional. But the prosecutor was the one who actually died. That's true. What's going on here? I already figured it out, Phoenix. It's fine.
Did you say the judges?
I'm at Edgeworth, it seems, Mr. Wright.
Did you say but the prosecutor was the one who actually died?
Yeah, and then I read
Oh, okay.
Phoenix is
Sorry.
after that. No, you're fine. It's okay, I had a revelation.
It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Fucking hold it.
Wait, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth.
What is it?
Could you show me evidence list again, please?
His list? The one that picture scribbled on the back? Is it got scary music?
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What?
You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
So put it together, and what do you get? I'm still confused. Okay.
All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This could be interesting. I'm a little confused about the blue badger. Wheel.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and I rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Okay.
It didn't exist 2 years ago, did it?
I don't think so. I thought it was pretty new.
Yeah! This is certainly most unusual.
I object. Try impossible. The head detective of criminal affairs didn't even design him until this year.
That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Oh, I was thinking, I didn't read. Oh,
It's okay.
Lana.
Stop. Please. Don't pursue this any further.
Lana? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. But there's still 2 more trials, so I don't think...
Okay. So. We want to press her last statement when she's talking about he wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
We want to press it?
Yes.
Okay. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
Objection right back. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw that what she did. Words.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was.
Well, she drew it sideways, so I'm guessing a chandelier or something, but... What was it Emma saw what was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really? I'm guessing I might just know.
I just might know.
Blue badger hadn't even been dreamed up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow? Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright,
Why is she smiling?
who's that Pokemon?
In this room? Well, very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger lookalike.
All right. So we have it.
Going down the line. Going down.
What do you think it is? Stretch it. Stretch it.
I have no idea. I'm looking at all the silhouettes of everything.
Well, it's not the right. Like, you need to flip it.
I'm trying mentally.
What's the weirdest
badge.
shaped
No.
thing?
The badge.
Yeah, it's the badge. True.
Oh my
Present it.
god, it's the
The
fucking
badge.
vase.
There you go. Present.
That just threw me off because the sides aren't as long as the top in the drawing it is. So I'm like not picturing that. Okay, present the vase. Take that! Unstable jar. It's in the photo. I did notice that. Behind them.
Mm-hmm.
The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. Jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this. Well, like this. Just completely upside down, right?
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay, what you want to do is flip it over to where you're seeing the blood. And then kind of tip it back a little bit so that it kind of looks like the 3 horns.
I see it now.
That makes sense?
Yep.
See it?
Yep.
All right,
So
ready?
present it.
Yeah, let me just... Okay, there we go. Yep, present.
Well, is this a miracle?
What the heck? That's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
The key to do it wrong? I'm at, well, is
did
this
it.
a miracle or what?
I don't think I tipped it far enough. Oh, this is so annoying. All right, hold on.
Oh, wait. Flip it down and reverse it. Anyway. Hey, White Zipper. Hello, hello. And you had to watch a Phoenix Wright. My blind playthrough. Key does not blind playthrough. Hey. Ding, ding, ding.
There we go. All right.
We did it. Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger.
No, it can't be.
Order, order. The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witness on that day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
But it does. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed. Very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Guess what, Kat?
All three.
Want no secret? It doesn't matter what you pick.
Because it's all three.
Yeah,
Let's do the murder weapon.
sure.
All right. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. The jar.
Not only that, but she saw it at a very specific angle.
Knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken the day of the crime. It's on the shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
But the body was found lying near Lana Skye's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yes. And it is these two facts that reveal what exactly transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Skye's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Skye's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I don't know, do I? Damn. I finally figured it out! So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Fuck the kid's future.
Yep.
Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? There would have had to been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to the picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes, turkey baster. And since,
Turkey baster.
And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the prosecutor's award.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes. There's another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Judge. Follow. Goddamn. Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless, I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Ow. Ow. Mm.
You mean
It happened a little differently than I was expecting, but same outcome.
Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
Thud.
Well, I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
Really? I did. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Anyway, the suit of armor killed him. It wasn't Emma. It was the suit of armor.
Like, she wouldn't be charged for that. Why the fuck are they hiding everything? She's also underage.
What? What are you saying?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just reading. Miss Skye,
What?
under the circumstances, something. I don't know. I skipped past it just reading it and not thinking.
Oh, you're like, I'm just gonna keep going and reading it.
I'm just sitting here by myself. It's fine. Something about the circumstances. I'm sorry.
Jodoc murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin this crime on her? Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it? I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence? What is
yeah,
that?
That's kind of what you need. What is evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. What?
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. I'm gonna turn my back on you.
Rude.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Exclamation point. We certainly can't get dead people to testify.
I mean, we could if we had Maya.
Ha ha. That's true. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. No, it hasn't.
Touche, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. Who would do that? Somehow.
This person. It's like case 2 all over again with Mia.
Yeah. If I was bleeding out, my thought would not be, oh, hold on. I gotta use this blood to write down this person's name. I would be, screaming.
Exactly.
Possibly trying to tie the wound off.
Yeah.
Reminiscing on my life and how unimpressive it was. That's probably what I would be doing. I probably would not be trying to write the victim or the murderer's name somewhere.
Nope, not at all. Oh my god.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Sure, why not?
Back to the court record. The real murderer's name was that the real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind is in the evidence, I'm guessing.
Of course.
This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Skye. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There's only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence. It's also that conveys a message from the deceased. It's also the day after you can, or 2 days after you can even use it, right? So technically she's in the clear? According to these rules, not that, real life is this way.
According to these rules, not real life rules.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's past the limitations on the case or not in Phoenix Wright land.
Phoenix Wright land. All right. The only message I can think of is the strip of cloth. But that's not a message from the deceased.
No.
So...
Think about, you said it was just like case 2. What was the message written in?
Blood.
And what do we have that has blood on it?
A shoe.
No. That was the other murder.
A handprint. The vase.
There you go.
So still the vase?
Present it, yep.
Present
Stupid
it.
vase. Stupid vase.
This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
Rude.
If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Edgeworth seems like
Edgeworth hates it so much.
He's like, that thing's fucking nightmare fuel. Looks like everybody's forgotten just looks like everybody's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar.
It looks like someone wiped the blood away.
Yes, but notice, for some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here, drawn in blood. Why would he have written Emma across the vase? Like, that just seems fucking weird. And also, like, why would he hate her enough to do that? It was on accident. So, Emma, I need to accuse you.
It's just, Emma, I accuse you. Nobody would do that.
No.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Do we get to play Connect the Dots? Prosecutor Marshall.
Yes, we do.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No. What?
I was waiting for you to say no, but then I was like, are you waiting for me to say it the sub? I'm not sure. Thank you for the sub, Assassin, by the way.
Oh. No, I was like a half second behind.
Oh, got you. Thank you so much, Assassin. Throw all the love in chat. I thought you were before, but if you were not, you now have access to Squid Love Emo and to the Discord if you have it linked with Twitch. You just need to ! Discord if you need any help. And welcome to the winners where everyone's a winner. Thank you so much. Okay. Mr. Wright! What kind of message did the victim leave for us? Really? Your Honor.
Send nudes.
Damn it! Yes! Yes! Oh my god. If you edit this, Kita, please just put in red writing, send nudes across this.
I will.
When that
Talking to future me.
Oh
If I edit this.
God.
If we get this far.
If we get this far. Your Honor.
I don't know if we will. Honestly.
That was just so good.
I edited the Elliot Potato. You'll have to watch the life video.
Oh my god, yes. I also saw that you put Evits.
I did.
Yes, Evits.
Evits.
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written under these given circumstances. The murderer's name! Alright.
Alright, so we gotta draw it.
This is real bad for me. Alright.
Let me know when you got it.
It'll take me a second. It's a little clunky.
Yeah, I imagine it's worse on the Wii. It's nice to have the touchscreen.
Can I just do a oh, damn it. I hit P. There we go.
Looks like a butt!
Oh my god.
Oh, that looks really annoying on the Wii.
I'm trying.
Why?
Get on the fuck. You know? You know? Okay, I did it!
Yay!
Present it.
Present.
Take that.
Take that.
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove his client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Bless you, Emma.
Emma. That's what it says.
It is what it says.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Because it makes so much sense.
Or maybe somebody else did it.
Wrote down, Emma. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Well. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. I'm assuming,
Shut up. Shut up. Chief Gant.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done? Told the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. And because of you. An innocent man was sentenced to death. No, because of you. Because you gave me false evidence, you little bitch.
He's a bitch.
Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. Fuck off.
I don't know how else to make that noise. How else do you make that noise?
That was the best noise you could have made! I don't even know how you did it, but it was beautiful! It's the sound of my people! Oh my Donald Duck! Oh my god! Oh, that was so good! Hi, Quintuple! Hello! Frustrated Donald Duck! Oh my god, that was so good! It was just beautiful, that's what it was. Oh my god. That was fucking great. Okay, we're not even at the trial former or ladder.
We're almost there.
Oh my
Almost
god,
there.
thank you, Eco! Oh, that was so good. But Joe Dark! Okay. This is fun. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable. I'm afraid that's not important.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a serial killer is important.
That's a little important.
That's a little important.
Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice? What? We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Is that what it said? Because I accidentally skipped it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is what it said.
Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Fuck off. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. Unless you're the one that gave
Oh,
it.
the jury's going nuts.
What's the-
What's going on
Oh,
at
fuck!
the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order, 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 order! Oh my god. I like that we got 3 clips of it. How key to how, Edgy does Donald Duck, and the best noise. This sums up my experience. The gravel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
I do, because I have a walkthrough.
To be continued. You said the next area is really short, though?
Oh, yeah. Ladder is really short, and then ladder 2 is long.
Okay, I'll go to the bathroom before ladder 2, then.
Okay.
4, I'm not posting mine. Oh god, there were 4, yes. Oh my god, yes. Save! Gant's making me mad, though. Not gonna lie.
I know. He's a piece of shit.
He is a piece of shit.
Alright, yeah, this one's pretty short. He basically just says some shit. And that's,
Says some shit.
that sums up this part. Alright,
Great.
let's go.
February 25th, 12:06, District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Sorry, that's Phoenix. Sorry, Miss. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Nope, I'm not interrupting anything, pal.
He's the jump scare of this game.
He is, though.
Nuts.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Buddy, no. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Didn't he already say this?
Also, I thought he got fired.
He got fired,
Yeah.
so unless he got a job at McDonald's, I don't think that he's doing anything.
Right. I take it Lana's giving you having you run errands again?
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day.
I'm sure you know the 2 rules of evidence law, don't you, Wright? Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
Seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
Well,
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
a message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're gonna need this book.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read in 5 minutes. Securely slipped evidence law in pocket.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why am I still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth. The real trial today hasn't begun yet. Uh-oh.
Dun dun dun.
What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out she's unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely stuck a knife into his dead body.
I still think that's not good either.
That's weird.
Okay.
That's just weird. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
Heavy breathing. And we're going to expose him. No matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. Like my boyfriend. It's time to bring it to an end.
Yes, it is. Let's
Fucking
go.
yes.
Let's go.
February
Cage match.
25th. Cage
Phoenix and Gant.
Oh God. I feel like Gant would win unless Phoenix is agile.
Nah.
He's just
Go for the
bruised.
nads.
February 25th, 12:52, District Court, courtroom number 9.
Go for the badge.
Go for the badge. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
the inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
He gives 0 fucks.
He doesn't care.
Yes,
He's
well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have,
Struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has been talking, and we're saying this publicly in front of a jury. This is not a good what?
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
What? But there's never been a case example.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what would you say? Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal. Then it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
YOLO. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer. Gant.
It was Detective Goodman.
You fuck me up, don't do that. It's Gant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's present it. Damon Gant! The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand. Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything? Gee, really?
He did it?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it, you know?
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Furious Bearcat. Quick, let's call him Larry Butts. I would lose my mind. I would lose my fucking mind. It's fine.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, fuck off.
Your name and occupation.
So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant. Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police. Now then, Now then, Chief Gant. The court requests to hear your testimony. Oh, righto. What's with the grim face? First, let's clear up this SL9 incident. Oh, you mean that time that Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already. Such an ass. There are still some things unaccounted for. Oh, like what? Like the role you played in all of this. That's... Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. Both is good. That's... You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. There's a cat. Do you hear him?
No.
Oh, okay. I was worried if he was picking up or not.
No, I can't hear him.
He's just... Weapons? Sure. Take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to. What? Is that true? Pretty sure not. But okay. That's way too much power.
Yeah.
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
All right.
SL9 incident. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently, she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Uh-huh.
Why you lying?
Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. You have to relive it. Bless you.
Thank you.
When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut. If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. What's hard and fast, Kita?
The 6.
The CX?
Yep. Okay.
That is not what I was expecting you to say. That was good. The CX.
Okay, so he's a big fat liar.
Yes.
But what we want to focus on is when he says, as you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery because we can present stuff to,
his case, like the safe stuff.
Not the safe.
Okay, so apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. Is that
no, you want to go, no, next one. As you can see, I had nothing to do
with the forgery.
Okay. So, what are you thinking? Not the safe, but close.
Well, I was thinking the strip of cloth or the vase.
Yep. Let's go with the jar.
Okay. Jar.
Objection!
You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this jar, for example. That's the blue badger you showed us earlier. A piece of this jar was discovered in your safe. That's not only that, but the evidence list I presented earlier was actually found inside your desk. It was found where? You see, Chief Gant, these articles are evidence uncovered in your office. Are both concrete proof that you have played a part in this illegal investigation. Chief Gant, what is the meaning of this? Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy. So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery? Who, me? Or do you mean you? What? Me? Why would I have anything to do with that? Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto? Thank you, edgy boyfriend.
However, Detective Gumshoe is present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. And not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment. I'm 5. It's fine.
Oh. What?
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying for 2 work.
Wasn't he fired?
I thought so. I don't know what's happening. Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence. Please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office and the relation to the forgery that took place in the crime scene. At the crime scene. My. Kids these days no longer know how to put 2 and 2 together. Fuck off! Evidence and forgery.
Here we go.
Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove... What?
Yeah, we could totally do that.
You could totally... Like, how would we have access to it? But okay. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason to participate. I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. No, but then you have blackmail, so people can use that.
Yeah, so shut your face.
Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand that I am Chief of Police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed, I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
Shut up.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. All right, Edgy. It's my birthday. All right, Edgy. In return, though. I know. That place, right? Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? The fuck? They're boyfriends. And then this is awkward. Lovers. Always lovers.
Always lovers.
Evidence and forgery.
So, which one do you want to press?
When those pieces of evidence were discovered?
Nope. Keep going.
There's no reason he'd participate in
Closer,
forgery.
but not quite.
Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help him out in any way?
There you go.
It's the last one, damn.
Because he's a liar.
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you've reaped from all of this. Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit? That would, of course, be the position you have. Chief of Police! Oh. The resolution of this SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive. Ho ho ho! Oh, that's a good one. Huh? And do you really think I'm that incompetent? Yes.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little. Is that true, Edgeworth?
Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Ah! Be careful when pointing that finger, or you might wind up getting the one pointed at. What? Being. Oh my god. Or you might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Oh my god. Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. So you're giving yourself away right now.
Cute.
Cool. And there, it's out in the open now. Oh, gee, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little? By all means, please do.
Yeah,
Really?
please. We just let everyone do that.
We do. I mean, where's the lie, though? I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice if there was nothing in it for me. Great.
We thinking?
We probably have evidence to present against that last one.
I think we should get more info first.
Oh, more pressing?
Yep.
Press the same one?
So, this one? The new one?
The new one?
Yeah. I wouldn't be anyone's accomplice. Yeah, let's get more info here.
Nothing in it for you. Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. And that girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Oh, that's a good one, Worthy. Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? Oh, I said no! Fuck.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Well, I'll just wait for you.
So I'll just go through, because I have a feeling it'll have me come out. Also, he's just talking to himself. And then all Edgy said, relax and take a deep breath, right? FoxQuinn, thank you for the bits. Thank you so much. Rock this case. Thank you. Thanks. Try and think outside the box, he told me. Just like Mia. After all, that's what you're good at, isn't it? I mean, you would know.
Yeah.
Think outside the box. Never thought I'd hear him telling me that. All right. It didn't even count against me.
That's good.
Is someone wait. Is he going off on his own? What's the line you have?
Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? And then it says no or point out accomplice. That's what I meant.
Do point out accomplice and see what Phoenix says.
Why?
Because I have a feeling he's just going off and it's not giving me that option again.
No, it has to.
Oh, okay.
Just keep going.
Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Never mind. I didn't get reprimanded for that, though. Okay, so
That's
it's
good.
press that last one again, right?
Yep, just do that again. And then just make sure that you
I got
point out accomplice.
I was pressing A to have things keep going, you know.
I know.
Mistakes have been made. It's true. My bad. Flashbacks. Why? Okay, I'm trying to go not too fast. Okay. Point out accomplice.
All right, doing it.
True. You might not have helped out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone. That's Mr. Wright. It appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand. That's
No.
not what I mean. Blackmail. Very well, I'll ask. Who is the person you believe Chief Gant might have helped forge evidence? Lana.
Yep.
Done. Take that. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. The defendant? That's... I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Skye fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister, Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit. Self-profit? What do you mean? After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Skye was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant. But how would he profit from all this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh my god. Judge! Oh wait!
Yeah.
You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind! Admit it, Chief! You assisted Lana Skye in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her. Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. What? Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing? Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant. I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless... that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Or which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her. She's a robot.
Worthy, you'd better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean? What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement. What? 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 Order, order, order. I said order! Jesus. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious. This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency to accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. That's impossible! I didn't think he was gonna say impossible for some reason. Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easy to understand language, in layman's terms.
It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now.
We're in this together, lover. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this. Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in murder? This murder. Good question.
Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. All right, then. Show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Just remember, it better be good. All right.
What are you thinking?
Evidence law? No. The only thing I could think of is a strip of cloth. But
no, because like he said, you can't prove when if we planted that or not. We need solid proof that he is involved in some way, and we do have that. Like him specifically. How did we get into his safe?
Oh, his badge. Oh, so the badge ID thing. So the ID card record.
There you go.
Present it.
Present it.
Take that!
This is the ID card list. Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. 777-7777. Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my ID, my card number. It's your number. What? How do you know that? The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit count. 7 digits? You don't mean? I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 777-7777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room the day of the crime, you little bitch!
Ha!
Order, order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing.
He's wearing murder gloves. He definitely did it.
He is wearing murder gloves. The defense's search of my office was a violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law.
Rude.
But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime? What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
TMI, sir.
TMI. Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you on that day, would he? Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days. I apparently have an objection. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? The trial's purpose is to determine Lana Skye's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet the... victim's note?
No.
I was trying.
Okay, this one's kind of a little bit obscure.
Great.
But, basically you have to prove that Goodman would need to talk to the chief for some reason.
Lost ID card.
There you go.
Goodman's lost item report.
Yep.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime.
Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stole it.
So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure he filed it. He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day. He needed to? Yes, to transfer the evidence out. Oh. Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room. I accompanied him. There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room. Hold on. Let me guess what you're trying to say next. What you're going to say next. I, the chief of police, murdered poor Goodman.
Yep.
Exactly. But wait. The chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Stop helping him, Judge. Yes.
Yeah, shut up.
Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Edgeworth's not having it.
Nope.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. But you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
No!
Oh my god. Oh, he is a demon. He is a demon from hell.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid for my
afraid.
I'm afraid.
Oh
my god. Did I try?
Oh my god, did he try? He tries. Oh, Chief Gant, you didn't. The murder was most likely committed on spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder.
I would.
In their right mind, Kita, God.
Oh, well.
We're clearly crazy. I don't know. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why else? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body.
However, the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony.
Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have the entire police force at your disposal. Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so. No, Lana. Chief Gant.
That's the perks of being the police chief.
You get to
hey,
get
move this
away
body.
With murder, yeah. Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time, I thought it was just a useless clue that was taking up space. How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence. To move the victim's body, Chief Gant use this.
What do you think?
The blue badger. No, I don't. Wait, was that
well,
right?
just think about it. Lana was at the prosecutor's office all day, so it couldn't have been her. That's what they said.
Oh.
So, what if he had somebody do it without their knowledge? Think about it. Where was the body found?
So he put it in Edgeworth's trunk and let Edgeworth drive away?
Yep. Well, yeah, because remember he had Edgeworth go back. Because he was
All
like,
right, the screwdriver.
yeah.
So wait,
there
we're
you go.
showing the screwdriver? Or the
Yeah.
parking, okay, the screwdriver. Poor
that-
Edgeworth.
I know. He had a gross, like, decaying body in the back of his trunk.
Didn't even know. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body. What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with his case? Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is the screwdriver doing here?
It's here because... Ah! I was asked to go, by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it at the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back to the prosecutor's office. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office.
But you did. Because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I...
The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car. Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to carry evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Miss Lana Skye. Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal in the to the defense's outrageous accusations? Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite.
It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something. I believe your time's up. My time's up? Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with District Attorney General after this. Bless you.
Sorry.
We have to get going if we're to make it in time for the early bird special. Objection. But the cross-examination isn't finished yet. Remember what I told you earlier? The police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. It's adorable. I'm sure not for Kita, but for us. Kita's like, fuck. Hi, Shiny. All the sneezing.
All the sneezing.
I always thought I'd like take sneezing over coughing and stuff, but then after having a sneezing attack once, I was like, maybe not. Because I like almost threw out my back. It's fine. I'm not old. Weapons? Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now. How convenient. What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away. Don't make me laugh, Worthy. You're running. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now. Well, You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright? Your Honor. Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman in Miss Skye's disposed of the body and made her you know what I'm saying. Do I have concrete proof? Present evidence?
No.
Oh,
We don't have it
proof
yet.
Okay, I have no proof yet. It's no use showing evidence. I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. COG? In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief. What? I don't gamble unless the stakes are high. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today.
Shut up.
Okay, OG, I'll leave the rest to you. Such a dick. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency. What?
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. Another witness. Lana.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Oh my god, who's left?
Seriously.
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist? She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth Lana, Skye. Right?
Yep.
Okay. The defendant? Miss Lana Skye? She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders. Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
I don't know who that is.
Hold on! Huh? Chief Gant!
Oh.
I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana. Fuck off.
Yeah, get out of here.
Intimidation tactics.
Yep.
He's talking to Lana. I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be terrible consequences.
Okay, you're literally threatening someone
Publicly.
right here in the courtroom.
The fucks I could give. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder. Ah, this isn't good. Of course, you'd never support such an outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Right then. I've got lunch date to meet. I hate him. I hate him more than I hate Von Karma, I think. Yep, nope, I do.
Yep.
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess. February 25th, 2:04 p.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 2.
It looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
That chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that.
Now don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office!
Rude. My office?
Well, it is our fault that he got fired.
It's true.
Sure. I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with.
Oh god. Could he mean Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gaunt's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said?
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered. Risks? What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. I don't know who this is.
You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? So he can't fight against it.
Oh, hey, Emma. I guess you're alive.
Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she'd changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her. What do you mean? What do you think I mean? Follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. Forced herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Yep.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we'd better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this.
Finally, I gotta pee. Oh my god. So much tea.
Once you come back, I'm gonna take a stretch walk.
I am ready. I'm saving up until this point.
All right. Here we go.
February 25th, 2:21 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Let's do this. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? Please.
Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be a sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Gant. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Gant, the fabrication.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
But Lana,
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning.
please, Mr. Wright, you gotta help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
But what if she's telling the truth? She's not.
She's not. I know my own sister. Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
No, Phoenix.
No time. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Gant and the fabrication.
Alright. So what do you think about pressing?
I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself.
Close?
When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's get more info about that.
You say you did this all by yourself.
Yes. Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? Seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What?
We just get to see that a lot.
But Prosecutor Marshall died by an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Doc? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Doc was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
Or just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes. I broke off the tip of Doc's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
Alright. Do you want to press that?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta wait a second. There we go. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the... Oh god! And then you moved the body?
But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad. But maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others. Why did you plant the knife? Or why did you move the... I mean, either, but... I guess why did you move the body?
Yeah.
Okay. When you showed up on the scene, you were where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Skye moved the body.
The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan.
Press.
Yeah, sorry. I went to the next statement. Yeah, so let's press that.
Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes. That wretched jar Mr. Wright showed us earlier. In order to show that Drake committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. So, when you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened.
That.
Neil Marshall was dead, and Doc was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle.
I see. What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction somewhere.
Alright. Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
Alright. Press it had nothing to do with Emma, or do we present at this point?
No. No, because remember how the name was written? That couldn't have
Being
happened
broken.
after it was
Yeah,
broken.
I was thinking about that.
Objection!
Getting to it. Unstable job.
Objection!
Sweet. Miss Skye, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime, quote-unquote, 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been useless. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony.
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write this message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died.
Ah,
He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar.
these are facts.
Order, order.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Jar and message in blood.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away this message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Doc was the real murderer? That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay.
Alright, so she says the fragments were large, so I made sure I got them all. She can't have gotten them all, because there was the missing piece.
Right.
So, if we present the stupid jar again,
Oh my god.
I know, we can be like, actually, this was found in Gant's
Can we just
safe.
keep this jar in front of you?
Yeah, can we just have it sitting next to us and just hold it up every time we need to present
Oh my
it?
god. Seriously.
Alright.
Okay. Miss Skye, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you are unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it. But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off them. Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That very may well be. But everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that? That's amazing.
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person is Chief Gant. At that time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he were there first, why would he break the jar? The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Huh. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that? The judge is on the spot now. No! No! He doesn't like Super Saiyan. This is disappointing. It's a 0 out of 10.
Weird to fly off.
Yes! Please, entertain me. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Oh my god. Damon and Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication. But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And here is the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
Ooh. She just like bit her thumb so hard she bled.
Yeah. Ew. I did it on my own.
Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the okay. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
Lol.
Whoa, I hummed in such a way my teeth vibrated and it was really weird. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. Rude.
Wow, rude.
Huh. Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap? Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all.
What do you mean, Wright?
So, you do tell foul lies then, Mr. Wright?
Rude. Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But
if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. Oh.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Oh, because who the fuck would write Emma on the face when they're about to die? Only the murderer.
Yep.
Okay, I'm excited, sorry. Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Thank you. All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time. Actual crime scene. Sweet.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on an armor's sword?
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
The book? What?
Yep.
To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. Well, that was some forethought.
Convenient. But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. I don't remember
Right.
receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
Okay, yeah, we got it, Emma. Thanks.
Thanks. Alright.
Thanks.
Alright, let's check the book.
Evidence law. Check.
Check it.
It's got a cute little dog. How do I flip it the other way? Oh, there we go. Oh, God. Oh,
Alright,
God.
so we gotta examine it.
Oh, God. Oh. Oh, my God.
Are you are you having a problem?
A little bit.
You gotta
It's all-
examine the back.
Okay. It's all rotating.
Oh. Oh, ma'am.
Examine.
Alright, examine.
There's a picture. Hey, there's a picture here. What a shocker.
Ew.
Well,
Oh. Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this. It's because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I rearranged the scene.
Lana's picture inserted into the court record.
Ew.
What?
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest. Could that be?
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this? Emma's fingerprints.
It's handprint. That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whosoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
Don't say that. What?
No.
But those fingerprints. They're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, actual crime scene. Oh, hold it. Damn. Nobody wants you.
Get out!
Come now, OG.
Get out!
This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. I thought you can't speak now. You give up your right.
Yeah, anyway.
Chief Gant. What, now you want to make me out to be the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. Nope.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined testimony. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be the risk the judge was talking about.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
So what? You think I'm worried?
I think you're nuts.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? No, I don't, but someone does. Someone? So then, what's your excuse, Righto? He's talking about the cloth. Why have you been keeping quiet about it? Oh, you do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Maybe. If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, You will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall. No.
Cannot show evidence.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Doing it. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. What? You lie! Chief Gant, you opened my safe. You know I know what you took was inside. Oh my god. I know you took what, oh my god. I know you took what was inside. The conclusive evidence. But it's gone, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh
Mr. Wright,
Emma,
why
shut
don't you
up.
show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means the chief of police concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of police department. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had a gall, Righto. Huh. Well, I can't just let you pin me up against as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened, except you can't, cause you still revoked. What? You mean you admit to it? He still can't talk.
Maybe because he's confessing?
Weird.
Then that's like a clause or something? I don't know.
I was the first person to arrive at the scene of the crime that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, then that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Skye.
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joja convicted.
When we rearranged the crime scene, I had 2 pieces of evidence. I did this before Lana arrived at the scene. 2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Insurance. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for the murder of the girl committed. You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Who do you take me for? A fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hit the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Llama to go... Llama.
Llama!
God damn it. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces. Oh my god.
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Ho ho ho. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept 1 more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto. Cough it up already. I know you have it. That's...
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
Emma! So you admit to it then, Chief Gant, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe. Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have known it before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. I smell food. I think River made food and I'm hungry.
We're getting there. We're getting there, Kat.
I know.
We are.
Oh, it smells like
Getting
pizza.
Oh, we're getting there.
Torture. As long as I don't mess up here. Victory is mine! Cannot show evidence.
No.
Show evidence.
Yes!
Okay, show evidence!
Showing the evidence. Phoenix wanted him to confess first.
Gotcha. Okay. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now. Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. Are we not showing it?
No, we're showing the cloth.
Oh, okay. Present it.
Mm-hmm.
Take that. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest? Oh, yes! At last, you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Edgeworth, you're not helping.
No, you're not.
Ho ho ho! You're as slow on the uptake as Everworthy.
What?
Think about it. Righto had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know?
Sorry, husband.
You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. Those Gants. Should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person whom these fingerprints belong to are... Do we pick Gant?
No.
Damn it!
No, we have to tell the truth.
Emma, Skye?
Yep.
Okay. Present her. Emma? Emma, Skye?
What? They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh ho ho ho! You're really something, Righto! You knew this girl did it all along! And you still tried to pin the murder on me? So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to death. To his death.
How could you? You monster!
Miss Skye.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
Miss Skye, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial isn't over yet. Huh, but I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. Not my badge.
You can't have my badge.
It's my badge.
No. Not the badge.
Not the badge. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer? I'm just not saying shit. before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh, and what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gant, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Skye, wasn't it? I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? What is that fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. You know, one that proves who the real killer is. Done. Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth, what could it possibly contradict? Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth.
Okay, so what is the newest piece of evidence we got?
The picture?
Right. Now, if you look at it, and
It
you
should
see
have
where he
blood.
cut right, there you go.
The murder happened after the cloth was cut.
There you go.
All right, so present the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Skye took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? Yes, his shirt was showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth. Blech. Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it. Gah! Since Emma Skye's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword. No, this is nonsense. Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside.
He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out.
If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Skye? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armor sword.
Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. Then he broke the jar on purpose to leave behind a clue. And to make Lana believe her sister did it.
Dots. Remember what you admitted only moments ago, same thing, that you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating insurance through, you know what I'm saying, you proved that you were the actual murderer. No! Super Saiyan, it's finished. Is it though?
No, of course it's not.
Of course it's not. Fucking
It wasn't me. Oh, his hair went.
It's deflated. Oh, no, perk back up. Oh, it's deflated again. That was close, Righto. You almost had me. That's... Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean you refute his allegations? He can't say anything. You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Uji? Earlier, old Righto here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Righto? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you? Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. Ooh, Wright was really
He was on top
precise
of it.
about his words, though.
Yep.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Ho 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 ho!
Ooh. Ooh.
Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, son. I'm afraid Mr. Grant's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True, illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright? Help me out here, husband. It seems, at last, the time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. He's like a mastermind now, what the fuck? Mr. Wright, do you admit it? Admit to it. That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth? I did not.
I did not.
Please? What? For some reason, my Wiimote fell asleep. That was weird. Maybe it's dying. I did not! Perfectly timed. Certainly, I refused to present evidence at one point. Aha! So the evidence is illegal! Nope. No, it isn't, Mr. Gant. Huh? It's not that I didn't present evidence then. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean, you couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No! OG, don't listen to his lies! He's nothing but a coward! You can't let him!
Shut up. There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well. Let us settle this once and for all. Earlier, you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now. The book? Evidence law?
Yep.
Just present the whole book?
Yep.
Sure.
Look at this handy dandy book I have in my pants.
Handy dandy notebook! This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Skye's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more. What? You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law.
Rule 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department.
Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case and trial.
And here's the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Take one look at this picture and... Sorry, but can you recall? When was that picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless.
The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant.
You yourself confessed to a certain truth.
Oh yeah. Oh no, my Wiimote's definitely dying.
Uh-oh.
I'm seeing how long it can last before I have to go get a battery. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out the piece of the victim's vest? Oh yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. Yeah, bitch.
The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there's only one person that could be, Damon Gant! The killer was you! I have to keep waking up the Wiimote.
clapping noise is so loud. He's
It's
going
so
to just explode.
Okay, I'm done. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. Oh no. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insists on hounding me.
That's because you committed a crime.
Exactly.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Bruce Goodman? Detective Goodman? I just added his first name, it's fine. Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he had to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. Damn it, Wiimote.
He told me to open up the evidence room and take it out.
It's not too late. I'll hand this to Marshall.
Well, to be honest, I was a little panicked too. I had a bad feeling about it, but never knew it would come to this. That's when I saw it. The accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
You would only increase the amount of blood and you couldn't finish what you started.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I was wiping it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my mistake. Detective Gumshoe's bloody handprint. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry, we couldn't think of any other way to move the body. We broke the trunk, but what's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
You were framing someone for murder. You pulled down a lot more than us, detectives. But what does this have to do with anything? You're horrible. How could you get Miss Skye involved in all of this? Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I feel bad for having to do it. I couldn't sit around and pick and choose what to take. Well, you left the jar fragment and gloves. Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, what are you doing in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. No.
How dare you?
How dare. One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed. Can we just, like, accuse him yet? Well, it looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. Dots. I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Damn. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Thanks for the memories.
Thanks for the memories.
Even though they weren't so great, damn. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Wiimo, I'm begging you. Now you have Rido here. And
Ooh.
Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. You see, if I listen carefully, I can hear it now. The sound of a new beginning. Lovers. There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes.
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Skye, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Skye. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble.
My, what high standards you have for a rookie.
Rude.
I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Aww.
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Skye.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing.
Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Aww.
Stop it. I only did my job.
That's what you say, but you're cute. In light of this case, it seems so good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are innocent of murder. However, although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is still you still acted as his accomplice. The trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I've felt free of these heavy chains.
Cute. Well, this trial has gone on for far too long already.
Yes, it has!
Ain't that the truth? Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, not guilty. Ah! Confetti! Yay!
Confetti! Ah!
That is all. The court is adjourned. February 25th, 5:03 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Wiimo, I swear to God. Oh, thank you for the bits, Lucarian! Achievement unlocked, the final objection. Thank you so much. Guys, throw the love in chat. Hey. At long last, it's finally over. Emma! Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted of murder that she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now after the trial ended. I can't. Why do we need to have a like this just happened?
This literally just happened.
I can see why me and Faye thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well.
Aww.
You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Jump scare! That's...
Oh, yes I am. I'll come back later.
Ah, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've
my
seen
God.
happier people at funerals.
You're just on
Hey, lighten up,
repeat.
pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
Aww.
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Aw, cute.
Lana?
Dude, I'm trying.
I know.
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know?
Well, I won't tell if you won't. Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
Sis,
I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day.
Okay.
I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
but sis, you're only doing it for me.
No. I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis,
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
but sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy.
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd
Dude,
come back.
Wait. I'm so far behind. Hold on. I've been trying
you
to keep
behind?
up because the Wiimote keeps dying, so I can't like keep.
dying. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's okay. I was trying to keep up, but the Wiimote's just like getting a little worse. Hold on. Okay. Because I keep having to wake it up, so I have that time of needing to wake it up. Okay. Wait, what are you at?
And now you have, is where I'm at.
Okay, hold on.
Emma speaking.
I just knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Okay.
Yeah.
And now you have.
Oh, Emma.
Aww. Cute. No one can change the past. The only thing we can
Sorry.
do is strive to make up for our, what is it, mistakes?
Yep.
Hey, why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because this is Phoenix. Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our path, and once we've found our path, we can move on from our past mistakes toward a brighter future. Limo, I swear for God. Thank you! At least that's what I felt looking at those two sisters' makeup. I thought you were done, Phoenix.
God damn it!
Mr. Gumshoe. Me? Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right? Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Thank you, Red, for all them biddies, by the way. Have some tits, or bits. Thank you. Where was he hiding? Where was she hiding?
I just came to say, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
Don't go, lover.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me.
Rude.
No matter what anyone may say, I realized today that I can't change my own mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
Flashback. You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. You're not the same. One day you'll understand. If you want to take them on alone, you'll figure out what's needed.
I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. Or a cape. It's scary, but I've been thinking the same thing for quite some time now.
But Edgeworth.
Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Are you gonna be a defense attorney with me?
Don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma. We're both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon. That may be right.
Okay, hold on. In order to fight crime alone, one needs a weapon.
That may be right.
Okay, there we go.
That may be right. But think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about.
God, no. Evidence that neither Edgeworth or I have been able to find on our own?
Two halves of a whole, Kat. Two halves of a whole.
The remote's dying. I can't go too far. Tell me.
The evidence list, we each had a piece of it. Or like, we each had
okay. So, evidence list. Check. Or, present.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counter-attack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list, and I had the other. Apart, we couldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Edgeworth. It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
There we go. Edgeworth! What will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember. We sleep together.
Just remember, I'll be tickling you tonight.
What happened? happened in this trial can either make or break you as a prosecutor. In the end, it's up to you. Believe in yourself.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell.
Or tonight.
Baby, come back.
I'd better be getting back too.
Okay, I'll come visit you.
It seems we both still have a lot to learn. Here, this is a little something for you.
Scientific investigation?
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Really? That's the first book you ever bought in your life?
Ever.
Thanks, sis. I will.
Guys, there we go. Cute. And so, another case came to a close. And as did the Wiimote. God damn it. Now! As for the sisters, I have faith! Like I do in this Wiimote. Okay. Faith that their lives God. have only just begun! It really doesn't want to let this end. It's like, no, suffer. And as for me, Phoenix, shut the fuck up. I think it's time. I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
I love how Edgeworth was last.
Yeah, he was. God damn it, Gumshoe! I swear to God!
Don't check it off just yet, pal.
Fucking hell, Frog. Thank you for those bits. Huh? What is it, detective?
It is just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. We already had that discussion. But...
Can you just... I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. It's okay, we already broke out of prison, it'll be fine.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh?
Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Right here is the one who'll be footing the bill.
Great. Huh? Huh?
What, you think I could afford that with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
What salary? You work for me now. Huh? Huh? Huh?
Anyway, you're my bitch now.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream?
Me too.
Just like me with
Since
this
we're here, why don't we all go out together?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Am I paying for the bill?
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Objection! That was...
Told you I had to scream.
That was spoilers because I can't get past let's go!
I'm sorry.
God damn it! Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Please. I beg you. I beg you. I beg you. Why? No! Oh my god. You were fine before. You were trucking. You won't truck anymore, guys. This is a
He's
problem.
mother trucking.
It doesn't.
Yeah, well, I'm like into the credits now, so.
Rude! I only need one more! No!
Cat gets left behind.
Please! Please! I swear to God. Just one button. Just one more. Why? Why can't you do the last fucking selection? Oh my God. Why? Everyone's pressing F. Goodness, please. Just the last Why? I think I may have to fucking go get batteries for the last button. This is stupid. I'm so mad at this Wiimote right now. You know, Kita, this is
I'm
why
sorry.
I can't have nice things. I can never see the end. What is happening? Oh my god, I don't have enough batteries for 6. Like, I swear to God right now.
I hear you.
We're about to find out.
Wait, Kat.
What?
Can you try actually waving the Wiimote like an objection? Is that what you had to do? Because it says objection at the top. There's silence.
There, I don't know. I won't. Fuck off! Not you, the game. I don't even know what's happening right now, but you guys get to see it. It's fine. I hear so many biddies. God damn it. Oh my god. I am missing the credits. It's fine. I don't care anymore. Oh my god. Thank you, Frog, for all the bits. Thank you so much, Vampire Pop and Crusteds and Kurt Dirts and Crypt Keeper. Thank you, guys. Oh my god. God damn it. Oh my god. It was showing me an arrow like it was supposed to be the next scene. Oh my god. I'll just use my skirt to wipe off my face. Fuck.
It didn't have me do that, so I didn't know to say that to you. Because I just clicked ahead. And it was fine.
To be fair, thank you for who murdered the victim? I'm just gonna have to rewatch this at the end, like after the stream. Oh my god. We betrayal at its finest, yeah. Thank you, Red Tube. This might be the greatest ending to a series ever. Thank you. At least you guys had fun. That's what matters.
The bang, that's for sure.
That's for fucking sure.
Oh my.
Oh my god. I hope this makes it onto YouTube. I might as well. Oh my god. I'm assuming someone in chat was like, does she need to shake it?
Well, someone pointed out that the objection thing was there. And, like, somebody said something about does she need to object, to actually object. And then I realized that I looked at the screen and then I saw that it said objection at the top. So I was like, oh.
It was Wolf Prince. Oh my god. God damn it. I mean, it was still dead. It was dying, but I guess that's why, like, just pressing the last A didn't matter. Because it wanted me to shake it. Eco! Yeah. Thank you for the donation. I don't have any bits, so take this. Thank you for the $3. Thank you guys for the love in chat. Thank you. Thank you, Wolf Prince, for thinking of that. Oh my god.
Well, what a ride.
God. Seriously, though. You fell out of your chair, Myra. Oh no. Be safe, guys. That made my entire life. Oh my god. The sensor bar won't turn on, by the way. Like, it's just legit, like, I'm not gonna have a blue light anymore. I'm done. But, like, it worked.
It's objecting to
so
you trying to
I know.
I guess.
It worked, but I'm confused. Don't choke on your popcorn, Sonder. Hey, Maya.
Yeah.
She misses our objections, guys. That means so much. Bye, Maya. This is the funniest. Thank you both for this awesome stream. Yes, thank you, Kita, for all of your patience. Oh my god. No, don't fall asleep!
Well, it's just not gonna stop.
It's done. I'm glad this cheered all of you up. I'm glad the ruiner. The end of an era, seriously, though. Like, Eco, that couldn't be more true. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Bellboy, get out of here. I don't want to see your face. God damn. I have no words. My face hurts. It's fine. I deserve a nice dinner.
Yes, you do.
I even got batteries. Oh god. Oh, Silent Shade! Haven't donated in a while. Here's to recovering from laughter and tears. Thank you so much for the $50. Thank you, thank you. Guys, throw the love in chat. Objection for the last time. Yeah. Oh, did it make itself known? Thank you so much, Silent Shade. All the love in chat. We'll do twice. Oh, did I have to earn that last objection? I had to earn it so good. Oh, investigating this book. Well, fuck.
Yeah, it didn't even let me do that. It
You
just
just
went
took
to
too
the
long.
screen because I guess I took too long.
Oh, it's done. We'll find out if I can. Nope. Nope. Okay. Nope. Nope. No. Could you not do that? Oh my god.
Well,
How do you open
This
this
is happening.
fucker?
this is happening right now.
Yeah, no. You know, I'm sick of your shit. No. I'm gonna try and beat this before it forces me out of here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Rushing against time. It's fine. No! Damn it! It's fine. I didn't need it anyway. It's fine. No.
Oh no! I just saw it. Well,
I just got in there! Oh my god! The evil mastermind Weeboat! Seriously though?
well, that was
Rip.
Phoenix Wright.
That was
Everyone.
Phoenix fucking right. Oh my god.
What a trip! What a trip! Oh my god!
This is my Saturday, guys. Oh my god. Worth it. This was fantastic.
Oh,
It's done! It's fucking done, Kita!
it's
It's done!